Have you ever felt like you had no idea what you're actually good at? Do you know what makes you so powerful? Do you even know your greatest strengths? Most of us go through life not even knowing what our natural strengths are. Like we have no idea what we're naturally good at. By the end of this video, you're gonna know what your natural superpowers are. And no, you won't have to spend $200 for a coach, a therapist, take a test, or sign up for an email list that you're gonna regret later. Hello, I'm Desiree and welcome to my YouTube channel. Here on my YouTube channel, I share some resources to help you create and live a more meaningful life, rooted in my education as well as my own personal experience. So that includes psychology, philosophy, spirituality, a bunch of different topics. If that's something you're interested in, then I invite you to subscribe to this channel. And if you're on a healing journey into personal development, or you want some own tools that you can use with your own clients rooted in real psychology, head on over to thepsychologynotebook.com and check out those resources. So let's dive into the psychology of character strengths and why is it even important for you to know. So the psychology of character strengths was developed by two positive psychologists, Martin Seligman and Christopher Peterson. And what they have discovered was 6 core virtues and 24 universal character strengths that an individual can possess irregardless of culture. And in their extensive research in psychology and mental health, they discovered that when an individual aligns their life to what they're naturally good at, like their natural strengths, that not only do their mental health improves, but there's a sense of clarity, direction, and an overall improvement of life satisfaction and lasting happiness. And if you were to work one-on-one with a positive psychologist, one of the things that you would do together is identify your natural strengths. But I'm not going to send you to a website and I'm not going to charge you hundreds of dollars. First, I'm going to share with you a few slides and some directions on how you can first identify what your character strengths are. And then once you have identified, I would suggest maybe your top 5 character strengths, you can navigate the chapters down below and go to the associated slide. Each chapter and character strength includes a description of that strength, as well as some everyday tips on how you can incorporate that into your life, some job and career ideas for idea generation, and also a bonus media list that I pulled from my own archive. I didn't do the research, psychologists in Canada did, but essentially there is a media list for every character strength that includes a list of movies and songs, and this is just to help you connect visually or emotionally or just in a very creative way with that associated character strength. I am curious to know whether or not this research aligns, so please comment down below if you feel like that list of movies or songs resonate. I really would love to hear it. So let's identify your greatest superpower and what you're naturally good at. We first have to understand the 6 core virtues that the character strengths are derived from. And the character or the core virtues are wisdom and knowledge, courage, humanity, justice, temperance, and transcendence. So here is a list of the 24 character strengths. I have them color-coded, each by the 6 core virtues, just to make it easier to navigate. Take a look at all of these strengths. Pick the top 5 or 6 that stand out to you and read each statement that's associated with these strengths just to help you identify what is just naturally aligned to you. I would suggest that you watch this whole video in its entirety to truly understand all 24 character strengths, but once you have identified about 5 or 6, you can just navigate the rest of this video to go to your desired chapters and get the information to help you discover more of your greatest superpower. So now I'm going to go into detail what each character strength means, starting with wisdom and knowledge. Wisdom and knowledge. This core virtue focuses on acquiring and using knowledge. And there are 5 associated character strengths associated with this core virtue. They are curiosity. Curiosity is defined as having interest, novelty seeking, or openness to experience. Being a curious person means that you're interested in new experiences and you actively seek out challenging opportunities. Individuals with this strength, they make discoveries and they push boundaries of what is known. Tips on how to include curiosity in your everyday life include experimenting and being innovative. So you can ask someone how they solve a problem and then try it their way. You can also reframe your daily routines as experiments. So you can try asking yourself, like, what happens if I change this one thing? And of course, you can travel and explore, visit new places, even if they're just, places that are in your city. Like you don't have to travel abroad, but just experiment with going to new places. Um, and that should invoke that sense of curiosity within you. Some jobs and careers that align to having a strength in curiosity are user researcher, investigative journalist, trend analyst, innovative coach, travel blogger, cultural anthropologist, escape room designer, science communicator, podcast host, and museum curator. And for media, some movies are October Sky, In America, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, A Wrinkle in Time. Some Netflix series are Connected and Explained. And if you're interested in a podcast, you can check out The Moth. Creativity. Creativity is described as originality or ingenuity. Creativity is using your uniqueness to come up with new and positive ways to improve your own life and the lives of others. Creative people use their imaginations in unexpected and innovative ways to solve problems that they face. Now, while we usually think of creativity in terms of like art or science, it can actually be applied to any aspect of life where challenges can be approached imaginatively. Tips to incorporate creativity in your everyday life include changing your routine. So you can alter your daily routine to break out of habits and stimulate new ways of thinking. You can spend time in nature and observe patterns, colors, or textures that inspire you, or even collaborate with someone from a different field because innovation comes from unexpected sources. Jobs and careers that might interest you if you have a strength in creativity include designer, being a content creator, marketing specialist, inventor, educator, architect, a toy developer, creative director, animator, innovative consultant, innovation consultant, or even a scriptwriter. And some media for fun to connect with creativity in visually and emotional ways. Some movies include Shine, Amadeus, The Pianist, Dead Poets Society, Big Fish, Julia and Julia, The Great British Bake Off is a TV series, and Creative Pep Talk, which is a podcast. Open-mindedness. Open-mindedness can also be defined as critical thinking. And being open-minded means considering things from different perspectives. It involves being willing to listen to opinions or evidence that contradict your own beliefs, plans, and goals, and being ready to challenge them if needed. Open-minded people are fair in considering all of the facts before making judgments. Some tips to incorporate open-mindedness in your everyday life is to play devil's advocate with your own opinions. You can ask someone or tell someone to explain more about what they're talking about instead of just giving your own take on it. And you can switch routines with someone else for a day and reflect on that experience. Some jobs and careers that aligned to open-mindedness include being mediator, ethics consultant, cultural liaison, policy analyst, debate coach, diversity trainer, social researcher, philosophy professor, diplomat, and human rights advocate. And for fun, if you wanted to connect with this strength in a visual and emotional way, some movies you can watch are No Man's Land, The Kite Runner, Crash, Life of Pi, Wajda. I think that might be pronouncing that right. The Good Place, which is a TV series, and a few podcasts are Throughline and Hidden Brain. Love of learning. People who love learning enjoy studying new things. They like the challenge of gaining new skills or satisfying their curiosity, even if there are no immediate benefits. This love of learning helps them keep going despite any difficulties that they may encounter in educational settings, whether it's at school or outside of it. To incorporate love of learning in your everyday life, you can keep a learning journal with new facts, questions, or reflections. You can teach a child or a friend something that you just learned because doing so actually deepens your own knowledge base and it helps you remember things. And you can follow rabbit holes with intention. So you start with a question, not a scroll, and then you just continuously go down this rabbit hole and learn more about that topic. Some jobs and careers that are associated with this strength, love of learning, are librarian, research analyst, archivist, education specialist, academic writer, historian, online instructor, science communicator, curriculum developer, and knowledge manager. And some movies to check out include Billy Elliot, A Beautiful Mind, Good Will Hunting, The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind, Spellbound, that's a documentary, Hidden Figures, that's a movie, and On the Road to Find Out, which is a song by Cat Stevens. Perspective. Perspective, also known as wisdom, is different from intelligence and it refers to having a deeper understanding and judgment. This quality enables someone to give wise advice to others. Those with perspective recognize larger patterns in their lives, they know their strengths and weaknesses, and they understand the importance of contributing positively to society. Everyday tips to incorporate perspective into your life include reflecting on past mistakes and write what you tell someone else in that situation. You can seek out someone 20 years older or younger and ask what they've learned about. And when you're upset, you can ask yourself, will this still matter a year from now? Jobs and careers that align with the strength of perspective include therapist, philosopher, mentor, ethics, officer, spiritual advisor, counselor, life coach, social commentator, chaplain, and documentary producer. For movies, you can watch The Devil's Advocate, American Beauty, The Truman Show, The Farewell. For songs, you can listen to My Way by Frank Sinatra, Strength, Courage, and Wisdom by Lauryn Hill. You can listen to The Moth, it's a podcast, or The Midnight Gospel, which is an animated Netflix series. Courage. The core virtue of courage is about exercising will to accomplish goals in the face of opposition, whether that's external or internal. These are the 4 character traits associated with courage. Bravery. Bravery is also known as valor, and an individual that has a strength of bravery act or do things on purpose, knowing that they might encounter difficult situations. People who are brave care a lot about doing things that is right, no matter what happens as a result. Now, remember, bravery doesn't always involve like big, grand gestures or acts of heroism. It can manifest in everyday choices and actions, such as speaking your truth, embracing vulnerability, or just simply advocating for what you feel is right. Tips to include bravery into your everyday life include sharing an unpopular truth kindly but clearly. Try something that intimidates you just to overcome that fear. And set a boundary with someone or something, even if your voice shakes. Jobs and careers that enhance the strength of bravery include becoming a firefighter, a social justice lawyer, ER nurse, a whistleblower investigator, activist, conflict journalist, public defender, or a human rights worker. Some movies to help you visually connect with bravery include Hotel Rwanda, Schindler's List, Life as a House, Selma, and The Kite Runner. A documentary to check out is Defiant Ones, and a podcast to listen to is the Bravery podcast, which includes stories of bold action. Perseverance. Perseverance can also be called persistence or industriousness. Persistence means having the mental strength to keep going even when things get tough. It requires staying dedicated and focused on your goals no matter what obstacles you face. Persistent people are determined to finish what they start, and they won't let hardships stop them from achieving their ambitions. Everyday tips to include perseverance into your life include celebrating effort, not just the outcome. Keep a done list to track your process, and revisit a project you almost gave up on. Some jobs and careers that align to perseverance include athlete, tradesperson, business owner, recovery coach, student, military, veteran, farmer, scientist, and writer. Some movies to check out if you wanted to visually connect with this strength include The Piano, The Legend of Bagger Vance, and The Aviator. Songs to check out are My Way by Frank Sinatra and On the Road to Find Out by Cat Stevens. Honesty. Honesty can also be called authenticity or integrity. And integrity or honesty is all about being truthful and genuine in how you speak and present yourself. A person with high integrity is open, they're honest, and they don't try to mislead others. By consistently acting with honesty, transparency, and respect for others, you can strengthen your integrity and build trust in your relationships and community. Everyday tips to help you incorporate honesty into your life include matching your words with your actions, practicing fairness over popularity, and seeking out work environments that encourage transparency. Some jobs and careers that will be beneficial for someone strong in honesty or authenticity is being a therapist or a coach, a compliance officer, a judge, a whistleblower, journalist, mediator, nonprofit director, and ethics consultant. Some movies to check out if you wanted to visually connect with this strength is A Few Good Men or Aaron Brockovich. Some songs to listen to include Strength, Courage, and Wisdom by Lauryn Hill, The Rose by Bette Midler, My Way by Frank Sinatra, and On the Road to Find Out by Cat Stevens. Vitality. Vitality can be known as zest or enthusiasm, vigor, and energy. Vitality is a way of living that values energy, aliveness, excitement, and enthusiasm. A vital person sees life as an exciting adventure to fully engage in. Cultivating vitality requires a holistic approach that addresses both physical and mental well-being. If you wanted to incorporate vitality in your everyday life, some tips include bringing playfulness into your routine and tasks. You can make sure you surround yourself with high energy people or people that keep you content and don't drain you. And let your body move, dance, walk, stretch with joy, just to kind of get that energy up and out. Some jobs and careers that align to this strength is becoming a life coach, camp counselor, performer, fitness trainer, children's entertainer, motivational speaker, youth worker, and adventure guide. The next core virtue is humanity, and this is all about tending and befriending other people. Love. People who love others want to have close relationships with them, especially the ones that they share and care for. Love can be shown towards people who we rely on, or those that rely on us, or those we feel romantically or emotionally connected to. Developing love as a character strength involves consciously choosing to prioritize empathy, kindness, and connection in your daily life. Everyday tips to incorporate more love into your life include expressing unconditional love through word or gestures, looking beyond someone else's mood to their deeper intentions, and celebrating your partner's or your friends' or family's strengths openly. Some jobs and careers that align to the strength of love include the marriage and family counselor, social worker, nurse, caregiver, preschool teacher, a chaplain, hospice worker, intimacy coach, doula, birth coach, professional vow writer. I didn't know that was something. relationship podcaster, caretaker for the elderly, and legacy storytelling specialist. Some movies associated with this character strength of love include Dr. Zhivago, The English Patient, Sophie's Choice, The Bridges of Madison County, Iris, My Fair Lady, Brokeback Mountain, and some songs you can listen to are The Rose by Brett Midler and Isn't She Lovely by Stevie Wonder. Kindness. Kindness is also referred to as generosity, nurturance, care, compassion, altruistic love, or niceness. Being kind means doing nice things for others without wanting anything in return. Small acts of kindness can have a ripple effect, contributing to a more caring and harmonious community and world. Everyday tips to include kindness into your life are declutter and donate everything, not everything, anything you no longer use. Take a friend out to dinner as a surprise. That sounds like fun. Or share your belongings or like your tools and equipments with your neighbors. Some jobs and careers that really align to this signature strength of kindness include counselor, teacher, hospice aide, nonprofit coordinator, humanitarian aid worker, animal rescue worker, school aide, kindness campaign leader, community gardener, a therapeutic clown, okay. Random acts of kindness, blogger, children's author, and crisis hotline worker. Some suggested movies to check out include As Good as It Gets, The Cider House Rules, Promise, The Secret Life of Bees, Children of Heaven, and some songs to listen to are You Got a Friend by James Taylor and Mariah Carey, Bridge Over Troubled Water, that's Simon and Garfunkel song, and Johnny Cash. Social intelligence. Social intelligence is also known as emotional intelligence, and it's the ability to know and understand one's own emotions and the feelings of others. They try to make everyone involved in social situations, and they make others feel comfortable in social situations, making them feel appreciative. These individuals can sense how other people are feeling while also being open about their own emotions. Some tips to incorporate social intelligence in your everyday life include acknowledging others' growth and feelings, listening without preparing a rebuttal, and just speak plain and kindly in close relationships. Jobs and careers that may align to someone that is strong in social intelligence include being a therapist, a mediator, school counselor, human resource specialist, group facilitator, support group leader, voice actor, character developer for games or scripts, negotiation coach, intuitive healer, family liaison, emotional intelligence educator. Some movies to check out to help you connect visually and emotionally with this strength include Driving Miss Daisy, Children of a Lesser God, K-Pax, The Five Senses, I Am Sam. Some songs to listen to include Lean on Me by Al Green and I'll Be There for You by The Rembrandts. Justice. This core virtue focuses on having a healthy community life, and there are 3 associated character strengths associated with justice. They are teamwork. Teamwork is also considered as like social responsibility, loyalty, or even citizenship. And those who have this strength are loyal to their organizations and they're willing to make sacrifices for others in their community. The strength of citizenship or teamwork is shown through feeling connected to society or having a sense of responsibility towards it or even in it. Everyday tips to include teamwork into your life include using the word we more than I in your speech when talking about shared achievements or when talking about others. Celebrate the wins of your team or group rather than individual success. And volunteer to do a group task that nobody else wants to do. Some jobs and careers aligned to this strength include being a firefighter, a community organizer, nurse, teacher, event planner, sports coach, military leader, humanitarian aid, cooperative business owner, nonprofit program director, a film crew member, or even a union rep. Some suggested movies to discover and check out are Remember the Titans, Coach Carter, Freedom Writers, Lean on Me, and We Are Marshall. And a suggested song is With a Little Help from My Friends from the Beatles. Fairness. Being fair means treating everyone equally and justly. Fair people don't let their personal feelings affect how they judge others, but instead use a set of moral values to make decisions. So true fairness involves respecting moral guidelines and being compassionate towards others, but not letting your own personal feelings get in the mix to determine your actions and perspective. So everyday tips to incorporate fairness into your life include seeking to understand opposing perspectives before judging, avoiding favoritism when making decisions, and reviewing your privileges and reflecting on how they shaped your worldview. Some jobs and careers associated with fairness include being a judge, a civil rights attorney, DEI consultant, mediator, ethicist, journalist, social justice advocate, ombudsman, human rights investigator, a policy analyst, labor law specialist, or an educational reformer. Some suggested movies that you may enjoy if you are strong in this trait or in this strength include 12 Angry Men, A Time to Kill, The Help, Just Mercy, and Glory. And a song to listen to is Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson. Leadership. Leadership is when someone helps a group work together to achieve something. A leader needs to listen and direct the group while also considering what other members think and feel. Leadership is not just limited, though, to formal roles or positions that you might naturally see within the workforce, but it can be practiced in everyday life by simply influencing and inspiring others to work toward common goals. Some tips to incorporate leadership into your everyday life are encouraging someone's voice in a group who's usually quiet. You can delegate tasks based on people's strengths and interests, so you can have them watch this video. And you can also take responsibility for mistakes as well as successes. Some jobs and careers that align to the natural strength of leadership include being a team captain, executive coach, school principal, CEO, youth program leader, nonprofit director, clergy leader, startup founder, motivational speaker, activist organizer, TEDx curator, or a leadership retreat host. Some suggested movies to help you connect visually with this strength include The King's Speech, Hidden Figures, Selma, Dead Poets Society, Lean on Me, and if you're interested in a song to check out, listen to Hall of Fame by The Script featuring Will I Am. Temperance. This core virtue is all about protecting against excess, and there are 4 associated character strengths. They are forgiveness. Forgiveness is also referred to as mercy, and this strength is all about forgiving those who have hurt or upset us. It means accepting the flaws of others and giving them another opportunity and resisting their urge to hold a grudge or seek revenge. Not my greatest strength, but if it's yours, I admire it. Some tips to incorporate forgiveness into your everyday life include asking for forgiveness or ask for forgiveness through spiritual practices, You can reflect on the positive traits of a person who hurt you. And you can journal how holding a grudge impacts your mood and behaviors. Some jobs and careers that align to having a strength and forgiveness include being a mediator, conflict resolution specialist, spiritual counselor, therapist, grief coach, prison reform advocate, reconciliation facilitator, hospice worker, restorative justice coordinator, family therapist, forgiveness workshop leader, trauma-informed yoga teacher, that's an interesting one, and a spiritual author. Some suggested movies to help you visually connect to forgiveness include Pay It Forward, Terms of Endearment, Dead Man Walking, Ordinary People, and The Shack. And a suggested song to listen to is Forgiveness by Matthew West. Humility. Humility, or being humble, means that you're not bragging or showing yourself off. Now, it doesn't mean that you're thinking poorly of yourself, but it's about not considering yourself as superior to others. Humble people are aware of their own weaknesses and mistakes, and they're willing to accept help from others. Tips to include humility in your everyday life are: admit your mistakes and model responsibility. You can ask a trusted friend for honest feedback on your blind spots. Or stay quiet when others brag and just observe how they are being perceived. Jobs and careers that align to the character strength of humility include being a social worker, a nurse, monk or nun, hospice aide, nonprofit worker, spiritual teacher, special education teacher, forest ranger, minimalist lifestyle coach, humble leadership mentor, and peace activist. Suggested movies that align to this strength of humility include Little Buddha, A Man Called Otto, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, and Don't Look Up. Some suggested songs to listen to are Let It Be by the Beatles and True Colors by Cyndi Lauper. Prudence. Prudence means being careful and thoughtful about the choices we make, especially when it comes to our long-term goals. It involves avoiding unnecessary risks and considering how our short-term decisions will affect those bigger ambitions. Being prudent doesn't mean being cheap or afraid. Instead, it's a smart approach that helps us achieve important life goals in a very effective way. Some tips to include prudence in your everyday life include removing distractions before major decisions, make key decisions whenever you're relaxed, not under stress, and you can favor cooperative situations over competitive ones. Some jobs and careers that align to the strength of prudence include being a financial planner, judge, urban planner, editor, risk analysis, crisis manager, surgeon, environmental consultant, architect, philosopher, project manager, strategy game designer, and disaster preparedness coach. Suggested movies to help you visually connect with this strength include Sense and Sensibility, A Beautiful Mind, and Moneyball. You can listen to a song called Wait for It from Hamilton. And if you're interested in a documentary, The Minimalist's Less Is Now would be something to check out. Self-regulation. Self-regulation, also known as self-control, means having control over oneself to reach goals and meet expectations. People who are good at self-regulating can manage their natural reactions, like being aggressive or impulsive, and instead they act in ways that align with predetermined standards of behavior. Tips to incorporate self-regulation in your everyday life include sticking to your daily routines and adjust gently when needed. You can do important tasks when you're most mentally alert. Usually this is upon waking up, but it depends on the individual. Periodically, you can fast or give up a comfort item, and what this will do is to train restraint. Jobs and careers that align to the character strength self-regulation include being a therapist, athlete, monk, recovery coach, pilot, teacher, health coach, researcher, time management consultant, personal trainer, Stoic philosophy teacher, mental performance coach, or a parent educator. Suggested movies that will help you to visually connect with this character strength include Forrest Gump, Inside Out, The Pursuit of Happiness, and Limitless. A book associated with this character strength is Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, and a song to listen to is Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield. Transcendence. This core virtue focuses on forging connections to the larger universe and providing meaning. And there are 5 associated character strengths associated with transcendence, and they are appreciation of beauty and excellence. Having appreciation for beauty and excellence is having awe, wonder, or a sense of elevation. People who appreciate beauty feel amazed by the things and patterns that they see. They enjoy looking at beautiful things as well as appreciating the skill of others and moral goodness. Beauty is everywhere in life. It can be found in nature, the arts, mathematics, science, and in even everyday moments. Tips to align your life to this character strength include noticing beautiful things in your surroundings daily and reflect on how it makes you feel. You can decorate your space with meaningful or beautiful items, or visit a museum or gallery and reflect on an artwork's deeper meaning. Jobs and careers associated with appreciation of beauty and excellence include being an artist, photographer, filmmaker, nature guide, performance coach, orchestra director, museum curator, UX designer, architect, stage designer, chef, creative director, art therapist, critic or reviewer, luxury brand consultant, or a floral designer. Suggested movies and documentaries that are associated with beauty and excellence include Out of Africa, The Color of Paradise, An Inconvenient Truth, Baraka, and Amelie. Some songs to listen to include Isn't She Lovely, Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and Claire de Lune. Gratitude. Being grateful means being aware of and appreciative of the good things in our lives. Grateful people make an effort to say thank you and think about all that they have been given. We can be thankful towards someone specific, a higher power, or just even acknowledge how lucky we are to exist. Tips to include gratitude in your everyday life are to keep a gratitude journal and list 3 things that you're grateful for each day. You can write and deliver a heartfelt thank you letter, or you can just make gratitude a daily ritual so you can say thanks before meals or before sleep. Jobs and careers associated with the character strength of gratitude include social worker, hospice nurse, wellness coach, spiritual counselor, therapist, community organizer, nonprofit director, gratitude researcher, yoga instructor, motivational speaker, teacher, hospital chaplain, and bereavement counselor. Some suggested movies and songs to check out to align visually and emotionally with this character strength of gratitude include Sunshine, Fried Green Tomatoes, Pay It Forward, Coco, Strength, Courage, Wisdom, Thank You by Dido, that's a song, Kindness Diaries, that's a Netflix series, or Soul, that's an animated movie. Hope. Hope is optimism, future-mindedness, and future orientation. Hope is believing that good things will happen in the future. People who are hopeful have confidence that their efforts toward achieving goals will be successful. Some tips to incorporate hope, if this is your character strength, into your everyday life include visualizing your best possible future and write it out. You can watch or read uplifting stories regularly, or you can surround yourself with people who speak positively about the future. Jobs and careers that align to the character strength of hope include being a life coach, mental health counselor, crisis worker, career advisor, substance abuse recovery coach, inspirational speaker, pastoral care worker, mentor, foster care advocate, nonprofit leader, and a peer support specialist. Some suggested movies to help you visually align to the character strength of hope are Gone with the Wind, Life is Beautiful, Field of Dreams, Cinderella Man, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, and The Diving Bell and the Butterfly. Suggested songs to listen to are The Rose by Bette Midler and Brave by Sarah Bareilles. Humor. Humor or playfulness is about laughing, teasing in a friendly way, and making others happy. People with this strength find reasons to be cheerful instead of getting discouraged when faced with difficulties. Humor isn't just telling jokes, it's a playful and creative attitude towards life. Tips to incorporate humor into your everyday life are: share a lighthearted moment or a meme with a friend. You can create a humor file of things that always make you smile. And you can laugh at yourself and find play in your imperfections. Jobs and careers that align to the character strength of humor include being a comedian, a cartoonist, a comedy writer, improv teacher, pediatric nurse, entertainer, motivational speaker, YouTuber, laughter yoga facilitator, late night host, and a sitcom writer. Suggested movies, songs, and TV shows to help you visually and emotionally connect to the character strength of humor include Patch Adams, The Untouchables, Miss Doubtfire, The Truman Show, Inside Out, Happy, that's a song, Don't Worry, Be Happy is also a song, I'm Still Standing, and Modern Family, which is a TV show. Spirituality. Spirituality is religiousness, faith, or having a purpose. Spirituality is something that everyone experiences, and it involves understanding our role in the world. Now, it can involve religious beliefs and practices, but it is not limited to them. Spirituality helps us appreciate everyday life as sacred, and it brings comfort during tough times and lets us experience something beyond the ordinary. Tips to align spirituality to your everyday life include writing about your sense of purpose and what you believe in. You can spend time in nature to feel connected to the universe or just the natural world, or you can attend a spiritual gathering or group discussion. Some jobs and careers that align to the character strength of spirituality include spiritual director, meditation meditation teacher, hospice chaplain, a yoga teacher, pastoral counselor, end-of-life doula, ethical philosopher, retreat leader, nonprofit founder, ritual designer, or spiritual podcast host. Suggested movies, songs, and docuseries to help you align to spirituality include The Tree of Life, Eat, Pray, Love, The Shack, Little Buddha, The Celestine Prophecy, Higher Love, Let It Be, Connected, which is a Netflix docuseries, and Super Soul Sunday, which is a talk series. Those are the 24 character strengths associated with psychology. Comment down below what your top strengths were. If you're interested in learning the science of happiness and ways to improve lasting happiness in your life, watch this video here, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.